Hello, welcome back to the channel. I have a very short video today, but it's very informative. It's titled Go into Hermit Mode and on your spiritual journey. Okay. The Hermit card of the tarot deck is my favorite card. It depicts a mature person dressed in monk's attire, making his way with the aid of a staff in his left hand and a lantern in his right hand. The light from the lantern is the 6-point star, which facilitates a lighted way to wisdom. In esoteric and alchemical traditions, it symbolizes the balance and harmony of opposites, such as spirit and matter or fire and water. Its structural form can also represent the interconnectedness of heaven and earth, or the merging of man to the divine. The hermit mode signifies an awakening is occurring. Some may say a call to counteract an unfamiliar spiritual metamorphosis that will vibrate the individual holistically, meaning mind, body, spirit, and soul. And that will result in a higher version of that person. A spiritual transformation occurs within the person, and a universal shifting happens as that change takes place in each person. People experiencing this transformation is spiritually urged to go within, to retreat to solitude, and to resort to extensive internal and external searching. What I mean is you begin to want to know more about life and more about God, or I would say Yahuwah, more about yourself. And, you know, in my case, I want to know more about my culture, the culture that I came from before it was interrupted by slavery or captivity. Okay. This person experiences a strong urge to control his or her desires. He learns to manage his or her emotions, to redirect the energy, mainly his sacral chakra or sexual energy, to the next level of his operational functions. He begins to understand that the creative energy associated with this chakra, and he learns how to hold on to that energy. He learns how to transmute it and channel it into blessings, manifestations, imagination, healing power, and more. At this point, the person is reverting back to his or her state of being, their original state of being, which is oneness with the universe, oneness with the earth. Okay? Fulfilling the universal law of oneness. Okay? The Hermit card is complementary to the Justice card of the Tarot deck. It is my opinion that the Hermit mode represents the first step to our spiritual journey. Your spiritual journey is the point where you go within to discover your true self, to understand what it means to be made in the image and the likeness of God, or Yahuwah. I say Yahuwah. Going into Hermit mode directs you into the historical record spaces in your DNA to unseal the oral Torah, or the oral tradition handed to you through the people of at Mount Sinai, when Moses was going up the mountain to speak with God, and he was bringing the Torahs down, which was the laws. He was bringing them down off of the mountain. So it was the people there that he gave it to. So what God did was he put those people DNA and passed it down to you, because he knew that the interruption would come to where there, captivity, slavery, and that type of stuff would happen. So he passed it down to you through your DNA. And this is why you have to go inside of yourself, okay, for this journey. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So it he also embedded this DNA in you for backup, for what I just said. He embedded it in your DNA for backup. And theoretically, it is known as your Akashic records. Akashic records is a cosmic energetic library that contains the history of every soul, all thoughts, all deeds, emotions, and past life experiences. The word Akashic is derived from the word Akasha, meaning ether or space. Now, on one of my recent videos, I talked about the ether. And so I encourage you, you all to watch all of the biblical hot topic videos, because they all tie into each other some way or another. So I encourage you to watch and subscribe, like, and share all of them. Okay. Moving on. The ether is where we acquire our sixth sense, the sense that enables us our spiritual energy. Okay? It enables our spiritual energy. Okay? Excuse me. And other cosmic rewards as we vibrate higher inside of our spiritual awareness. The Hermit mode is very relevant to our spiritual journey. It is where you discover your spiritual help, acquire relationships with Yahuwah, your spiritual team. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is attained in this mode. Your thoughts come to life here. You begin to understand that thoughts are things. Your thoughts are things. You can experience spiritual guides, angels, recover generational help from the people that came before you. You can gain in internal intellect, inevitably passed down to you through the generations that preceded you, through your DNA. The next thing I will say here will conclude this video, and it is your spiritual nugget. So listen carefully. In the process of the hermit mode that you go into, you will unlock one of the most important and essential faculties of the soul. That is your imagination. Your imagination is one of the most powerful, I'm going to call it the attribute. It's one of the most powerful one that you have access to. This world that we live in today, and this system of things that we live in, they understand that. So what they do is, they keep causing distractions. This virus, another virus, always something going on in the world, to keep people from going into this hermit mode and getting in touch with their imagination. That will, it's one of the gateways to the soul. Your imagination is one of the gateways to the soul. Okay, so we have a lot of distractions, even stuff that on television, every time you turn it on, people are naked and half naked and, just all kinds of stuff. The best thing you could do is turn the television off, because with it on, you will never get into your imagination. Your imagination is a place for you and your inner self. Okay? So what is the imagination? I have a little definition here for the imagination, a short definition. It says, imagination is a fundamental cognitive ability that powers several key aspects of man's life. It encourages future planning and stimulation, problem solving, empathy and social connections, cognitive flexibilities, and much, much more. Your imagination is actually more important than knowledge. You probably never heard that before, because they don't want you to do that. And I believe that a lot of our children, when we're growing up, we have our imagination. But if you notice, in life, people talk you out of your imagination. Some parents do it; they probably don't know better. But I know it's like the kids. I don't know what that's called. What that mental condition is called with the kids, where they would give them medication and try to slow them down. I think that's the worst thing you can do. These kids are into their imagination. They're in the perfect world, because now we have gotten older. We're all distracted, and then we give them medication to numb them and to get rid of the most important faculties of the soul, their imagination. Because now they're dumbed down. Now they're just sitting there or whatever. I never had anyone in my family, any of the kids on that medication. I don't even know what it's called. But I have seen other kids that, their parents had given them that the medication to slow them down, and it actually takes away from those kids. And so this would end my video. Thank you for tuning in to Biblical Hot Topics. I will see you for the next video. There was a time when I would make my videos longer, but I noticed that people's attention spans are not very long. And so, the longer videos wouldn't get watched. So I had to, time lengthwise, I cut them. I cut the time for the videos. But I'll see you for the next video. Thank you for tuning in to Biblical Hot Topics.